see them in the water? Okay.
The cruise ship.
It's all the cruise ship.
The cruise ship don't make it, they take it.
Go.
All right, folks, so we recently went on a Royal Caribbean cruise to the Bahamas, and I'd like to share our experience. So we went on a 4-night cruise to Nassau, Bahamas on the Royal Caribbean Utopia of the Seas. So this is Royal Caribbean's newest Oasis-class ship with over 5,600 guests and over 2,800 guest rooms. It's a massive ship. There's so many things that Royal Caribbean got right on this. So the arrival was actually pretty smooth. The biggest thing that we had to deal with was parking. I just did some online research, and I found this portparkingspace.com, all one word. I'll put a link below. I found that this was probably the best one. If I booked this out maybe a week or two, and I ended up paying about between $65 and $66. You know, they charge you for 5 nights to, what is that, about $13 a night. I mean, if you park at the cruise port at the Royal Caribbean garage, you know, you're paying well over, it says $17 per night, but that's before taxes and surcharges, right? They give me a military discount, 15% off with a special promo code. If you're military, go ahead and use that. I'll put it down in the description below. I'll give you a free shuttle ride. Also, if you have an EV like I do, they have 4 or 5 bases that you can plug your EV in at no extra charge. You can use that. So it's great if you have an EV. So with the boarding, it was pretty efficient. My mother, who is in her mid-80s, she needed wheelchair assistance to get on and off. So when I checked her in, I requested that. And as we were pulling up to the cruise terminal, they didn't even ask any questions. I just asked for a wheelchair, and they automatically came out. We went through kind of like a different route than everybody else. Got us on board. The first thing that you end up doing when you get on the ship is you go to your muster station or your assembly point. The staff there, they're really great. They'll tell you exactly where to go. Once we did that, then you pretty much go eat because the rooms aren't ready yet. I didn't know this, but when we went to check in on our muster station, the gentleman told us that checked in at your muster station online, then you actually did not have to report on the ship. Okay, so this is our stateroom on deck 14, 301. So we just wave that in front of the door, and look what happens.
Come over on this side.
It comes open.
Oh, okay.
And all right, so this is our stateroom, and got my mom's cane over there. Careful, Mom, careful. Okay, the door's gonna beat up my mom. All right, so it's actually kind of a roomy stateroom, and you step out here. Watch that, Mom. And then you got this here. All right, we're towards the aft of the ship. Got Utopia of the Seas. We got people looking into our stateroom. Okay, down below, right? You got all types of, that's called what, the atrium, I guess. All right. Got the lunchroom up there. Okay, coming back in. This is kind of what it looks like. Okay. All right. Got the music playing. Got your cruise compass, lets you know what's going on every day. Got some hair dryer. some facial tissue, some other drawer space. Look at that. Got the slow close, kind of. Whoop. Got some room. Let me guess. A mini fridge. Yep. Got the mini fridge and got the mini fridge going on. And this got some closet space. We need to figure out where the lights are. But the bathroom is a nice size. All right, let's go check out the bathroom next. Oh, there we go. Sinisa figured out the put your card in. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. So you have to put your card in. Any housekeeping, please scan code. Okay, we don't need that. Let's see if that, okay. Got your safety. It says your assembly station is F, all right? Tells you how to put on your life preserver. And let's check out the bathroom. Oh, nice size bathroom. Nice size bathroom. Not bad. Nice size bathroom. Got a little bit more space than we got the emergency pull for people like my mom who may need that. Okay. This is a decent sized bathroom. Yeah. This is a wheelchair room, as you can see. But we wanted to make sure that my mom could get around if we needed to. All right. And got a little phone on the wall, a little pull cord, emergency pull cord, and I don't know if I'm digging this, but it is what it is.
For a wheelchair.
Yeah. So if you had a wheelchair, this is what you have. So, and maybe this is a little bit bigger. This room is a little bit bigger because of the wheelchair. So, but yeah. So this is a boardwalk balcony wheelchair access.
Dinner?
And after that, you pretty much go and eat because the rooms weren't ready. The rooms aren't ready until like 1 o'clock. We got on the ship like around 11. So went up to the Windjammer and we ate lunch. And this is the only meal in the Windjammer where they actually have lobster tail. So overall, the food was very good. The ship had about 20 different dining options. The largest was the Windjammer, which was that, it's a buffet style. So, I mean, I would give that a solid 7 on a scale from 1 to 10, where 10 is excellent. The food in the main dining room, oh my goodness, I can't say enough. The food was very good. I would rate the food in the main dining room a solid 9 on a scale from 1 to 10. And our waiter was exceptional. He cut my mother's meat every night. He brought multiple entrees to us. He knew like my mom really liked shrimp, so he kept bringing out more, plates of shrimp for her, and also multiple desserts. He even kept us entertained. He told us jokes. He even brought out some cards and showed us some card tricks. If you feel the staff go above and beyond their service, make sure that you leave them a review. It really helps their job.
Restaurant.
Utopia Station is another specialty restaurant, which is an additional cost. It gave the experience of being on an old train passing through the Wild West, where the windows are actually screens, scenery crossing the Wild Wild West. It even had characters passing through your meal. So if you like the Wild Wild West, you'll want to make a reservation. Book fast because it sells out quickly. The nightly entertainment, hands down, was the best I've experienced on any cruise ship. The venue facilities were on par with the Broadway production. The actual show talent was probably just a slight step below Broadway. They had an ice skating show called Utopia. They had an aqua theater where people, diving and dancing and splashing in the water. It was pretty cool. And then they had a traditional song and dance, which I thought was really cool as well. One of the highlights was they're doing choreography with drone synchronization. It was just really cool. I've never seen that before. For a cruise ship, I would give the nightly entertainment, especially the big shows, I would give them a solid 9 on a scale from 1 to 10, and 10 being excellent. You know, as far as the Aqua Theater, was it as good as Cirque du Soleil show? Probably not. And actually, no, it definitely wasn't as good as a Cirque du Soleil, but very entertaining nonetheless. For the shows, I strongly suggest that you download the app several months before the sailing date so that you can reserve your shows through the app. Probably about 2.5 months out, you're able to do that. Reserving the shows allows for early admission into the auditorium or into the theater. Okay. Otherwise, you're likely not going to get a good seat if you get a seat at all. Okay. Because sometimes these shows really fill up. The day shows, these are your parades and such on the promenade deck, usually between the hours of 11 a.m. and say 4 p.m. I would say these were not as impressive to me, just not as entertaining, both in quality and talent. But you know what? I get it. It's more of a family-oriented show, so I get it. I would give it a 6.5. They were family-friendly. All right, now we'll get to the common areas and the ship activities. So when it comes to the common areas, let's talk about that first, the decor. The ship was pretty nice. You know, there's a lot of aesthetically pleasing motifs and apparatuses around the ship that make the ship look really nice, really quality-like. So there were other nice features near the main dining room and also near the elevators. The rear elevator area, this manta ray display really looked very well done, put together, and just aesthetically pleasing from all angles. The area of the promenade where the car was, they had this bar that kind of levitated, went up and down, had a bartender in there taking orders while the bar rose and fell. Just a really nice feature to watch. The jogging track on deck 5 was one of the largest jogging tracks I've seen on any ship. It was 2.4 laps to a mile, or 1.5 laps to a kilometer. It did have an entrance that went into the fitness center on the 6th floor. So the main entrance to the fitness center was through the spa on the 6th floor. The fitness center was very robust. It had all your cardio machines, treadmill, stair stepper, elliptical, and then it also had all your weight training machines and free weights as well. Probably one of the nicest fitness centers I've seen on any ship. Okay, now we'll get into the activities, which many of them are going to be on the mid or the rear of your ship. Ultimate Abyss, which is a dry slide. They had both wet and dry slides. This Abyss started on deck 16 and went all the way down to deck 9. Next you have the FlowRider, which you can boogie board, you can surf. You have to kind of wait in line to do that. You kind of see the line forming. You also have, like I said, you have wet slides as well. You also have the Zipline, which had they gear you up. Takes probably about 5 or 10 minutes to do that. They have that little catch to catch you, to slow you down. Actually hit my head if I didn't have my helmet on. I was actually surprised how hard I hit my head. All right, moving on the day of sail, that's when everybody comes out, especially if it's a sunny day, everybody comes out to the pools and suns themselves and music playing. It's really nice. It gets really crowded. The earlier you get out there, the better, because it does get crowded and people like to just put their towel and save lounge chairs and then walk away. That happens very often. On the day of sail, they have all these adult activities, adult entertainment. As you can see, it got, some people consider that a little risque or a little over the top, but it's just a little bit of adult fun. Yeah, there's something for everybody. Obviously, if you're in your smaller kids and the teens, there's plenty of things to do. There's also an arcade. There's also mini golf. Plenty of things to do, and also for the older people as well. On the morning of day 2, we pulled into the cruise port of Nassau, Bahamas. So there were probably 4 to 5 ships in total throughout the day that came in, to include a Carnival ship, a Disney ship, another Royal Caribbean ship. So So many people that are getting off the ships here and walk around this cruise port. Obviously, if you have an excursion, you're going out and doing that excursion out in the island of Nassau, or the city of Nassau. In this area, vendors selling food and drinks and t-shirts and hair braiding. So whether you book an excursion or not, you're kind of forced to walk through this area, because before you get out on the street, you have to conveniently walk through these port stalls. This is where most people just kind of walk around, and if you get off the ship, you conveniently find your way around here. And then for those who have not booked excursions, there are people who will offer to sell you impromptu excursions. So this guy here is telling us about a package, and he'll drive us around Nassau, or take us to the beach, or go wherever we want to go. But unfortunately, we were hardly interested in it, and began to rant about how the cruise lines own this portion of the port.
The cruise ship don't make it, they take it. We have that one man there. He's doing an island for it's only $35 per person.
The local Bahamians benefit very little. If you want slightly cheaper goods, you can make your way outside of the port into town a little bit, about 200 miles into a straw market. And this gives you more of an authentic Bahamian market experience. So vendors here, they don't post prices, so you can haggle and negotiate a bit and get your right rate. And don't be afraid to start really low, because if you go too low, the vendors will let you know. So, like I said, it's an experience. We didn't really get much here. The people, most of them are kind of friendly. It's an authentic Bahamian experience, more authentic than the area just right around the port. Famous straw market of Nassau.
Fine place to walk.
Straw market.
Everything discounted.
Alright, there are the two ships. You got Utopia of the Seas and what is that? Vision of the Seas. And this is the walk to CocoCay. You got the Caribbean, they call that Panorama, that type of music. Panorama music. New girls. Oasis and the Vision of the Seas. You can see the definite difference between the size there. When it comes to the perfect day at CocoCay, let me tell you, there is plenty of food and plenty of activities. Some of the activities cost money. Obviously, you have the big water park, but there are a lot of free activities as well. As I said, there's also plenty of food. Thought of everything. Like I said, the Wi-Fi works on CocoCay just as good as the ship, if not better, actually.
Hi.
Okay, so there's also this shuttle service, or they call it a tram, that can get you around CocoCay, perfect day at CocoCay. They also have those sand wheelchairs for the individual accessibility issue. All right, so these are the cabanas. We got 2 cabanas. Got one over here and one over here. And as you can see, they got your party reservation. Got a little umbrella. Can accommodate up to 8 individuals. And got a fan running. Got the nice aquamarine water right behind. So let's see what we got here. We got a chest of places that you can store things, right? Got some ants, but no big deal. You got a safe lock. So if you want to, yeah, we'll figure that out. But any event, they got a safe where you can store some things, valuables that you don't want to get stolen. Got Mom and Sunisa right there chilling. Got a fan up there. You got an outlet with what looks like 120 volts, and your light switch for your fan, or your switch for your power switch for your fan, and you got water down there, bottles of water. If you want any alcoholic drinks or any special drinks like pina coladas and all that kind of stuff, you have to have the drink package, right?
Oh.
Got Joy, Kai, Mom, Sunisa, and Kenny. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, we're right here. Yeah. Thanks. This pool is very busy and it's massive. A couple of months ago, about in August of 2025, there was a big, massive brawl in the pool. 15 or 20 people that ended up, and most of them were from Utopia of the Seas, and it just really got out of hand. There was nothing that people could do to break it up or anything. Like, it was that big. Sometimes it's better to stay in places that aren't so crowded. All right, folks, so these are my final thoughts of the ship. Registration, pre-registration, I'd give it a big sustain, no issues there. As far as the arrival, the day of arrival and boarding, again, sustain, easy on, easy off. The deboarding at the ports of call were all pretty good. Getting back on the ship, again, decent. The last morning, the elevator congestion was pretty bad. There were long waits at the elevator, but otherwise it was very good. Moving on to the staterooms, the accessible room worked well for my elderly mother. The large size room was an added perk, which we weren't expecting. Comparable balcony rooms, though, seemed a bit cramped. I don't recommend it for more than 2 people. Moving on to the food and beverage, there are many options, both complimentary and premium. The serving staff in the main dining room was top notch. Now, I have to qualify that this was my experience. There were many food choices, even for vegetarian pescatarians. I thought was very good. Moving on to the onboard activities, much to do for all ages during the sailing days. It was the boardwalk and the solarium were neat features, less chaotic locations. The solarium specifically, no kids, so that was kind of nice. Now, I'd like to move on to some of the negatives. One negative was the internet package. The ship uses Skylink, which was kind of a sort of a mixed bag. Most people had little issues, which was good, but it seemed to be more problematic when moving around. There's reports of people having difficulty reconnecting and even the app crashing 1 to 2 times per day. Also, the ship was big. It was a big ship, which was kind of nice, but also it came with very long corridors, which was too much for my elderly mother. All right. She normally does not use a wheelchair or a scooter, but probably could have used one on that ship. It took her a long time to, get from our stateroom down to the main dining room, which was towards the front of the ship. Took a long time for her. She had to stop and, get her second wind and then go again. The last negative was, the port of Nassau. We're going to Nassau, Bahamas, right? But that was not the big highlight of the cruise. Shopping at the port and the straw market overall was just unremarkable. Now, I could have had a different experience if I booked an excursion, but we've done that kind of stuff before in the past. Again, Nassau just was not that significant part of this cruise. But folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. If you want to see more, please subscribe if you haven't done it already. And, send me a like if you got something out of this video. Appreciate you making it this far, and talk to you later. See you on the next one.